Hello, everybody. May I start?
Yes.
Thank you. So my name is Benjamin Rameau from Bainenslabs. Bainenslabs is the investment arm of the exchange Binance, and we are a mission-driven ecosystem fund, and our goal is to see the entire ecosystem grow. Now, in today's presentation, I'll be talking about the current market, which obviously is not very much fun. But I'll also explain why right now is actually a very special opportunity and why the market is changing and we need to change with it. So last year was a great year. This year is not such a good year. So let me ask a question. Who enjoys seeing the crypto market down over 80%? Who enjoys seeing Bitcoin below $4,000? I don't see any hands up. But actually, this is a very unique opportunity to find value in the crypto space, to return to basic fundamental analysis, orthodox-driven investment thesis, and to find long-term returns. So I said that we want to be orthodox investors. Now, what does it mean to be an orthodox investor in the crypto space? So if you ask the reference orthodox investor, Warren Buffett, he will tell you that Bitcoin is probably rat poison squared. I don't know where to start to answer that question. But it is true that there is a problem in the crypto space. And the problem in the crypto space is this. We've seen the secondary market collapse. Crypto market down over 80% this year. Bitcoin below $4,000. And what is the ICO market doing? Actually, it's doing pretty well. The primary market is still raising money. You've got September, October, ICOs raised over $300 million at a time when the secondary market is doing extremely badly. The average size of the ICO in 2018 was larger than during the boom year of 2017. Now, what does that tell you? The market's crashing, and the average size of the ICO is bigger than last year. And that is because there is a problem with the crypto space. The problem is short-term investing. What you've got is institutional investors who buy into the ICOs at a discount and sell on the first day of listing. And that is very detrimental to the industry. In any market, you've got short-term investors and long-term investors. And having many short-term investors is actually a very healthy thing. But when you've got too many short-term investors and not enough long-term investors who can draw the bridge between the primary market and the secondary market, you have a problem. And that is the problem that we see right now in the crypto space. So what does Binance want to do about this? Well, the answer is very simple. The first rule of Binance is never pump and dump. We don't pump the deals that we invest in, and we do not dump them on the first day of listing. What else would the orthodox investor say? If you buy something like Bitcoin or some cryptocurrency, you don't have anything that is producing anything. Many people have the flawed view that just because you're buying a digital asset, you're not buying something real. Excuse me. And if you're not buying something real, you might think that you're not producing anything of value. If you're not producing anything of value, you might think that fundamental analysis is not possible. And I hope that you come back from this conference today just remembering one thing, is that this view is wrong, and that we can do deep fundamental analysis on digital assets. Here's one example, Decentraland. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. My apologies. So Bainenslabs does not have any relation with Decentraland. But I bring up this example because I find the concept of digital worlds fascinating. These are places where you can live, socialize, and work all within a virtual space. You can work in a virtual space. Anybody who thinks that you're not creating real value from digital assets doesn't understand that it's possible to work in a digital space. What else can you do with Decentraland? You can mortgage properties. The minute you start mortgaging properties, you start generating yields. When you start generating yields, you are getting rent from your digital assets. There is real intrinsic value in this. It isn't just about hodling, pumping, dumping. There actually is long-term value in these digital assets. And at Binance Labs, we want to extract that value. I gave the example of virtual worlds where you can work, mortgage your properties, but you can actually give yield fundamental analysis to many other types of crypto assets. Utility tokens, such as discount tokens, do have an intrinsic fundamental value. The value is the net present value of all the discounts that you'll be getting or all the perks that you will be getting in the future. A network such as Ethereum does have intrinsic fundamental value, and that fundamental value is the net present value of all the gas fees that will be paid into infinity. Therefore, the second rule of Binance Labs is we seek value. The orthodox investor might tell you, if you aren't thinking about owning stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. So at Binance Labs, we've got a 7-year view. Now, 7-year view is actually a long time for any investment. But it's particularly long in the crypto space, where people have instant liquidity and have been trained to think in terms of hours, days, weeks, months. But very few people have a view over 7 years, and we do. Now, the saying goes that, 1 dog year is equal to 7 human years. They say 7 dog years is equal to 47 human years. Well, if that's the case, then I would argue that 7 crypto years, because everything moves so much faster, is equal to 100 human years. And therefore, you could actually argue that Binance Labs has a 100-year view on the industry. Therefore, the third rule of Binance Labs is always think long term. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Now, this quote is extremely relevant in the current market. Crypto market down over 80% this year. What are we doing? We're not running away. In fact, the first investment that Binance Labs made was already way after the peak. If the market peaked at end of December, our first investment was made in April. Since then, we've deployed over $30 million in 23 projects. We're still making investments at a pace of about 1 project every 2 weeks, and we are investing in the downturn. We're very conservative about valuations. We don't invest in expensive deals, but we are still investing in the downturn. We should be buying when things go down and hopefully selling when things go up. Here are some of the projects that we've invested in. There's a Korean project here called Terra. We're very interested in the Korean market. And the point I'd like to make here is that even though the market is going down, we're taking advantage of this opportunity to find deep fundamental value. And if Bitcoin drops to 3,000, we'll keep on investing. If Bitcoin drops to 2,000, we'll keep on investing. If Bitcoin drops to 1,000, we will keep on investing. Therefore, the fourth rule of Binance Labs is go against the crowd. But there's one thing that Binance Labs have, and probably most of you in this room also have, that the traditional orthodox investor will not have. And that's a mission, a vision, and a heart. Now, the CEO of Binance has actually said that he would be very happy to see 1,000 companies match or exceed the success of Binance in the blockchain ecosystem. And his view is that once people become financially independent, they actually have the ability to start taking care of other people. Once we start taking care of each other, the world becomes a better place. And this is what makes us different from the traditional orthodox investor. In fact, the CEO of our company has said that he expects Binance Labs to be making a loss. Now, in the current market, unfortunately, his statement is true. But we do believe that we will be generating long-term returns. We are a for-profit entity at Binance Labs, but not primarily driven by profits. We want to make a better, stronger ecosystem that will make the world a better place. Therefore, the fifth rule of Binance Labs is follow your dreams. Follow our dreams. I'll give you a brief description of what Binance Labs does, not just the investment style. So we are an initiative to incubate, invest, and empower top blockchain and cryptocurrency entrepreneurs, projects, and communities. We're generally split into three pillars. We've got direct investments into very early stage, seed stage projects. We've got incubation, which their first round of incubation, which started in October and is going to end December 14th. And we've got a funds of funds business. We want to invest in anything that supports a better, stronger ecosystem. But painting very broad strokes, that means looking at decentralized exchanges, stable coins, such as Terra, wallets, payments, custody solutions, compliant solutions, and decentralized applications. We're also building the building blocks of the whole infrastructure, such as scalability, privacy, interoperability, governance, layer 2 solutions, and tooling. So the real smart people are you in this room and the developers. And our job at Binance Labs is just to facilitate you, to provide you the capital that you need to accomplish your vision and to hold your hand when needed. This is how to reach us, labs@binance.com. I read every email that comes through this account, and I try to answer to every one of them. And if any of you in this room have any questions, it would be my great pleasure and honor to correspond with you. Thank you very much. If there's any questions, I'd be very happy to open the floor. Thank you very much.